710 at WIBX. Good morning. Is John in studio or is he on the phone? You're going to get him? Oh, he's on the phone there. The T-shirt is called Houston. Here we come. Houston. Here we come. It's an orange shirt, blue lettering, and it says, "Let's go Syracuse." It is the official shirt of this weekend for us anyway. And you can buy the shirt at cnymerch.com. Pick it up. You could actually have the shirt this weekend. They're telling me that you could pick. They're located here in Marcy, the shirt company. You could buy it by 2 o'clock today and pick it up before the end of business on Saturday, and you could actually wear the shirt on Saturday night. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And a portion of the proceeds will be going to charity. The little girl that coined the phrase Houston, we're going to Houston, is a 5-year-old from Newport, Kylie Dodge. And we'll let them determine which charity gets to be involved. So pretty cool. 7-Eleven. On the line right now is the one and only John Zogby. John, good morning.
Good morning.
So, can we start out with Donald Trump?
We always do.
I guess we do. If there was ever a time that I believed in conspiracy theories that Donald Trump is actually out there working for Hillary, I guess yesterday would have been that moment.
Well, very clumsily, if he is part of a conspiracy, the nuance here is the important thing, and you don't often associate nuance with Donald Trump, and that is that he said something, it was universally condemned, and for the first time that we've seen in this campaign, he actually circled his wagons,
and
he backed off, and then you actually do see him, and there are no two ways of looking at this, actually looking nervous and confused. And the message is going out there that the shtick, the Billy Jack, Andrew Dice Clay sort of thing is getting a little old for some people. There's no room for growth here, and secondly, that he really has nothing to say of any substance whatsoever. At some point, this whole thing has had to run its course, and we may be seeing that now.
It's funny because I'm pretty good at remembering the things that come out of your mouth. And the one thing, of course, I've remembered all along is that you didn't feel that Hillary was going to be the nominee. And some people still doubt it as well. I guess we're all coming to the conclusion that it's probably going to be the case that she will be. But you have been talking about what was brewing in the Republican Party from the very beginning and what could come to a head at the convention in a potential breakup of the party. And it really, I guess, did start, and maybe you can talk about the beginning of this, started when they really tried to tolerate the Tea Party. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, that's it, because the Tea Party not only was something to be tolerated, but it was something that, was like a growth that metastasized and just could no longer be removed. Look, whether you're a Tea Party fan or not a Tea Party fan, fact of the matter is that it was in a position to dictate to the party. The party establishment did not know how to handle it. Initially poo-pooed it, and then embraced it. But by the time it embraced the Tea Party was really in control. Bottom line is that when it comes to Congress, the Tea Party has prevented Congress from even negotiating a budget, coming up with a budget deal, doing what Congresses should be doing. And that generally is not a formula for the success of a party.
Yeah.
Parties can't go to people and say, re-elect me. I stopped doing this. I prevented this from happening. I didn't get anything done. When it came to presidential politics, veto power. At least during the primary season, what normally happens is that the loudest voices dominate. And that's what's happened here. The problem is, with technology the way it is, the old rules of, tilt to the base and then come back to the center just don't hold true. There is now a backlog of video and record of what these candidates have had to say that just doesn't work in a general.
Yeah. I think it was Gawker that put out a headline that said, horrible if Donald Trump becomes the nominee. The only thing worse than Donald Trump becoming the nominee is Donald Trump being blocked as the nominee. That is really kind of what the dilemma is that they're stuck with here right now.
Yeah, it's a conundrum, which is even worse than a dilemma.
Yeah,
because both door A and door B are not good doors. But this thing's going to play out. First of all, we have to watch Wisconsin, where Ted Cruz has pulled ahead by 10 points, and where you have really universal Republican leadership opposition to Trump. That includes the talk radio hosts. If this is a decisive victory for Cruz, or for that matter, a good victory for Cruz and a second place for Kasich, I think you really do start to see the Trump thing unravel.
Wow.
Including coming into New York.
Let's talk about, speaking of New York, talk about Hillary. She begins campaigning now. She's kicked off her campaign in New York. She'll be in Syracuse tomorrow. We might see her around this area as well. And the stuff about the FBI investigation, the emails, all of this still out there as a cloud over her head. Does it surprise you that somebody like Biden hasn't stepped in?
Well, that's a difficult position to be in. For starts, she's been winning primaries, and she has solid establishment support. In fact, she has a lot going for her, except there's at least half of the dogs that don't like the dog food.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. Now, recent polls have Sanders ahead in Wisconsin. That's a very potent message, coming into New York with a victory. There's a strong left tradition and strong left vote in New York. So it's not really a question, I think, of Sanders winning New York so much as embarrassing her in her home state
and making it close.
Yeah, making it close.
Yeah.
The pundits, including myself, are suggesting that she has to win 60 to 65% of the vote. And the interesting thing is the Clinton people are not disagreeing with that benchmark.
They're actually right now. It looks like they're negotiating a debate. He was asking for Sanders was asking for a debate in New York, and it looks like they're negotiating that right now.
They are. They have to.
Yeah.
Joel Benenson, her pollster strategist, was just too arrogant last week, poo-pooing Sanders, trying to blame Sanders for a negative campaign. And, I mean, essentially, all Sanders has been doing recently is reading the headlines from the newspaper.
Yeah.
He's not making any stuff up. He's talking about the fact that a lot of Democrats and a lot of more general election voters by percentage don't trust Hillary.
How complicated?
She's not out of the woods yet.
How complicated does it get? She loses Wisconsin, and New York is close. What do you do then?
You go all the way to the convention.
Wow.
And you go all the way to the convention the way that it happened in 1968 with Hubert Humphrey and 1980 with Ted Kennedy against Jimmy Carter, Gary Hart against Walter Mondale, and the party, it doesn't split, but it's damaged. And so what should be easy pickings for the Democrats doesn't appear so easy after all.
Pretty interesting stuff. It's John Zogby, ZogbyAnalytics.com. John, as always, we appreciate the time.
Thanks. Take care.
Christine with an update. Good morning.